Welcome back! In this video, I'm going to attempt to make the State Bird Provisions Peanut Muscovado milk. Not only does it look great being poured on camera, it's also the right amount of sweetness and very refreshing. This recipe only has 7 main ingredients, but it's also very technique-y. So you will need unroasted skin-on peanuts, sugar, dark, not light Muscovado sugar, brown rice syrup, vanilla bean, cream, and whole milk. This recipe is divided into 2 parts, the peanut milk and the syrup. I'm making the peanut milk first. First thing you will need is 3/4 cups of skin-on Spanish peanuts. This is obviously not skin-on because I couldn't find it. I don't think it made a difference in the end. Just toast this for 15 minutes until it is light and golden. And after toasting, I now realize why you needed skin-on peanuts, because a few of them ended up burnt, but I like to think it added a little bit of flavor. And again, it didn't make a difference in the end. Set the peanuts aside to cool, and we're gonna gather all our ingredients to throw into a pot. First ingredient you'll need is half of a vanilla bean. I did not use my best knife for this. I'm sorry, I did put effort into this video, but I didn't want to wash the dishes. So I'm cutting the vanilla bean with my not so sharp knife, but it still did the job, albeit not very well. Anyway, moving on to the next step, get a big pot, pour 1 cup of water at the bottom pot, and throw the peanuts in. Add 2 cups of whole milk. 1 cup heavy cream. 3 tablespoons of white sugar. And the vanilla bean with the seeds. The directions say to bring this mixture to a gentle simmer over medium heat. And you are going to cook this for 1.5 hours. So what I did was actually turn it way down to the lowest setting possible and cooked it for 2 hours, just to push it a little bit more because my stove's not very strong, and the peanut flavor was amazing. Really follow this part of the recipe. While the milk is cooking, we can work on the syrup, which is much easier. So in a pot, you're going to add 1/4 cup of water. 1.5 tablespoons of brown rice syrup. I was really scared of how sweet this syrup would be because this recipe already has 3 different types of sugars, but brown rice syrup is actually more tangy than sweet. I really enjoyed the flavors because I'm not a sweet person, I'm more of a savory person, so this was a really nice surprise. After the syrup, add 1/4 cup of dark Muscovado sugar. Don't get the light because it's going to be way too sweet. The dark is just ever so slightly more bitter. So once everything's in the pot, turn the heat up to medium heat and bring it to a gentle simmer and stir until everything is dissolved. Once it's dissolved, you remove it from the heat and pour it into a container to cool down. The nice thing is that once it's placed in a container, the book says that you can refrigerate it for up to 1 month. Okay, at this point it's been about 2 hours. You can see a film on top of the milk. Just stir it, it'll go away. Take out the vanilla bean, and I'm going to pour this into a blender and pulse until the peanuts are broken into small pieces. So the important thing is that you want the peanuts to stay in small pieces. Otherwise, it's going to become peanut butter and it's no longer a peanut milk. When you're done, place it in the refrigerator for 8 to 24 hours. I kind of went in between and did 12 hours. Tasted great. So the next day, you are going to strain this. So there's some delicious peanuts left over. I don't like wasting a lot of the ingredients. So I placed the peanuts in a glutinous rice ball and cooked it in ginger syrup. So that's kind of a Vietnamese dessert that my mom makes. As you can see, I'm really trying to squeeze all the milk out because I spent a long time on this. I don't want to waste 1 drop. The State Bird book says that the milk is good for up to 4 days in the refrigerator. I kind of pushed it out to 6, and you know what? It was still fine, but I probably wouldn't go past 6. Now it's time to put everything together. So the ratio that you want is 1/2 cup of milk to 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of syrup. The syrup's pretty sweet, so you don't want too much of it. For aesthetic reasons, I used 1 tablespoon of syrup. I'm not cheating. The State Bird book did this in the pictures. Aesthetics. You know what? I really like this recipe. I recommend that everybody make it. It tastes pretty close to what I had in the restaurant. It's the right amount of sweetness and surprisingly refreshing. Probably one of my favorite recipes so far. So if you try making this, please let me know how it goes. And again, thank you for watching.